And with this accomplishment of becoming two-time undisputed in less than 12 months, there's nothing I can say except for he is the best boxer in the world. As of right now, his resume is better. His accolades are better. The names that he's fought have all been legitimate and dangerous. And he's conquered them all. We have to understand what we're looking at when we talk about Naoya Inoue. We are not seeing just a great fighter. We are seeing a potential icon in the making. And this further cements it. 26 fights, 23 KOs, some of the best footwork, technical soundness, a phenomenal chin, power, unlike anybody else in not just this division, but arguably of any division in boxing today. Pound for pound, one of the hardest hitters. Pound for pound, one of the smartest fighters. Pound for pound has perfected nearly every aspect of this sport. One of the best, has evolved into one of the best defensive fighters in the game. Has been the best offensive fighter in the game. Yes, he even better than Terrence Crawford. Even better than Gervonta Tank Davis. Even better than an evolved Devin Haney. Better than a prime Teofimo Lopez. Better than Usyk. We can keep going down the list. Better than all of them. Is elite in every single category. So confident that he will showboat in the middle of the ring. In round 3. He did it against Apollos as well. And invited the fight to get harder. Toughness amongst some of the best. Adaptability amongst some of the best in the world today. I don't know what else you can say about this man. It's sublime. He is sublime. And and again, I'm young, so excuse me. Maybe you don't agree. That's fine. But in all my time, jumping into the sport, studying the greats, looking at what made Hall of Famers and icons so adept and so head and shoulders above the rest, this brother's got that same ilk to him. He's got it on him. It's a cloak of greatness. It's a robe of superiority. It is a crown of legendary status. He has shown and consistently shows this man is just, he's something different opposed to anybody else in the sport. There is something different about this brother. He's got the real ability to be a Pacquiao. He's got the ability to be on the level of somebody like a Sugar Ray Leonard. He's got the ability to be on the level of somebody like a Marvin Hagler. He's got the ability to be of one of these greats. Legitimately. I put Terrence Crawford of that same caliber because once he beat Spence, boom. That was the last accomplishment necessary to say, and how we beat him? My gosh. It showed, and what he showed in that win. It gave you the feeling of, okay, wait a minute. We have to start having conversations about this man, Terrence Crawford, in a different light. We have to transcend what he is in today's generation. That's what we have to talk about with Inoue. If you don't know him, look him up. Watch him. Study him. And appreciate him. And stop all this stuff about, oh, Tank's gonna knock him out. Tank will knock him out. All this, that, and the third. Bump all that. Anyway, it's 122. Tank's 135. Tank won't even move up 5 pounds to go fight, or theoretically. Won't go up and move 5 pounds to go fight the best of the best that have all moved up and evolved. Most of them anyway. Once they got the extra weight. Seeing as he's fought at 140 before. But that's another conversation altogether. Come on, don't be stupid. You notice, weight classes mean something. But if Inoue was able to be transformed into Tank's weight class, he would knock out Tank Davis. Confidently, I can say that. In any other weight class you can think of, you put him in, and you can morph his body to fit that weight class, he beats everybody. He beats everybody. He does. There's a real argument I can say he beats Terrence Crawford if they fought against each other. That would be a fight to behold if it could actually happen. It can't, but if it could, perfect world. And you can morph Inoue to fit any weight class. Have Crawford and Inoue fight against each other at 154 or at 147. I pick Inoue to beat him. Inoue is the best fighter in the world today. There is no boxer that has the complete package of not just outright talent, but discipline, power, speed, skill, adaptability, defensive soundness, and toughness, all wrapped in one. No boxer today has it to that extent as Naoya Inoue. That brother is the best fighter in the world. He's the best in the world. He is the best in the world, especially with this accomplishment. Only the second man ever to do it. If we're being completely honest, he could have done it. He could have done it while holding the other belts if he wanted to. I think he's that great. I think he's that great. We've seen champions of the past, way back, do that exact same thing. Have a title in mind. Who was it? Was it Henry Armstrong? Who was a champion in like 3 weight classes at the same time? I could be wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong. But I believe Henry Armstrong was a title holder in multiple weight classes all at the same time and defended them all at the same time. Inoue can do that. Inoue has that same it factor. He could do that same thing. He's insane. This brother's insane. He is a sight to behold. He is something to be cherished and something to be respected. He is a brother who can beat anybody pound for pound. King of the boxing world right now. And if this keeps going up, we're going to have to start comparing him to some of the greatest to ever do it. We're going to have to. Because it's not, yes, he's only got 26 wins. 26 fights, excuse me, in his pro career. We're saying that some of the greats, again, Pacquiao had 60-something. Henry Armstrong had like 90 or 70, something like that. Sugar Ray Robinson had 100 and something. George the Walcott. We can go on and on and on about all these big names. That Salvador Sanchez. We can keep going about names that were phenomenal. Of these greats, we understand that he's only fought not nearly as much. But it's the fact that he's accomplished so much in such a short amount of time. Such a short amount of time. It's out the gate. This brother's been moving, winning, dominating. Out from the jump. Again, Canelo, right now, as in terms of popularity, phenomenal. Accolades are phenomenal. 60 fights, 60 plus fights until he got to that point. We can compare Naoya Inoue's resume to his, and it's only 26 fights. It's phenomenal. And he's done, again, some of the biggest of those accomplishments, the biggest of those accomplishments, undisputed, and then undisputed again, came within a year. 1 year. It's insane. It's ridiculous. It is ridiculous. Not only is he pound for pound number 1, he might be fighter of the year. No, he is fighter of the year for me. If people were putting out breaks, he's fighter of the year for me. This man, Naoya Inoue, is making a fast track to be talked about as one of the greatest ever in this sport. Ever. Legitimately. And you may hate me, you may love me. I don't care. This is the reality. I'm not comparing him to the talent, but in terms of what I see semblances of. Roy Jones Jr. at his prime. There was a point in time when Roy Jones Jr. ruled the 90s, was seen as one of the greatest, and in my opinion, the greatest outright talent I've seen in boxing history. The greatest outright talent, just innately in him. Greatest I've ever seen. He's not the greatest, but he's, in terms of what he has in his arsenal, nobody had what he had at his disposal. Nobody. It was insane. The amount of, he could do everything wrong and it still come out right. Let's just call it what it is. He could do everything wrong and it still came out pure as gold. It's an insane ability. Naoya Inoue has some of that in him. The difference is he's more committed to the fundamentals. Not saying that Roy Jones Jr. didn't master the fundamentals. Again, because it was because of what he was able to do. It was only because he mastered the fundamentals. So we understand that. But just in their fighting style, I see semblances of it. Even if you watch this fight, even some of the angles that he was able to catch Tapales on, the way that he knocked out Stephen Fulton looked eerily similar to some degree the way that Roy Jones knocked down James Toney or knocked out a bunch of his other opponents. There's something different about this man that's putting him on the road to be of that same pedestal, to be on that same pedestal, to be seen and held in that same esteem as people like Roy Jones Jr., as people like Pacquiao, as people like other dominant champions of the past. His technical ability is so sharp, precise. He's got a snappiness to him that no other boxer has. I've seen in today's generation, and very few of past generations have. It's a snap, it's a sharpness to him that it's just uncommon. It's eerie. It's eerie. It's like he was built to fight. This ain't hype. We can't hype this man up anymore. We're talking about now, legacy is being made. A golden road is being paved in front of this man as to what he can be. And what he can be. He's one of the greatest to ever touch this sport. One of the greatest to ever touch this sport. He's got that in him. He's got that to him. And he's still got so much that he can achieve. Talking about how he's going to stay at bantamweight or super bantamweight and wants to fight some more. What's his name? A guy named Neary, I believe. He's going to fight. Very game competitor. I didn't want to say it wrong. That's why I said the name like that. Sometimes I don't want to be disrespectful in how I pronounce things. We do everything professional over here. Yeah. But I don't think he's going to stay there for long. Because I've talked about this before. He's got the ability, and he's fought exhibitions before at 135. Yeah, I don't want to move it too fast to get there. But we could see this brother do the same thing that we saw Pacquiao do potentially. And keep on moving up all the way to 140. Potentially. We could see him get to that same level. It's not out the question anymore. It's not. His technical ability is so profound that even if his power does not carry, still, he's got enough skills to still outbox most people in any division. And he's fought and beaten every single type of style. Pressure fighter, counterpuncher, brawler, pot shotter, distance fighter, a slipper, a guy that wants to walk you down. He's fought every single style. Somebody that's weak to the body, somebody that's weak to the head, somebody that can crack, somebody that can adapt. He's faced them all and beat them all in easy fashion. I'm telling you, man, we're looking at an all-time great unfolding in front of our eyes. And I'm not going to sit here and let that go by the wayside. We're not going to do what some people did with LeBron all those years when he was dominating the league and hate and give caveats. Say, oh, what if, oh, he's not, da-da-da-da-da. We ain't doing that. We're just going to knock down the accolades and we're going to elevate his status all time as is appropriate, as his career unfolds. It's just plain and simple. It ain't hard. It's not difficult. That's all we're going to do. As he continues to grow, we're going to continue to put him exactly where he deserves to be. And the greater he is, the greater he's going to be seen. It's plain and simple. It's not difficult. It's not difficult. Y'all don't get hurt. Oh, because, you say he's better than so-and-so, or you say he's better than Tank. Okay, fine. He's better than Tank. Great. Do something about it. Tell him to do something about it. Tell him to go get a title. Tell him to go become undisputed. Tell him to fight the biggest of the baddest back to back to back to back. Tell him to do more. It's just plain and simple. Tank has so many fights under his belt, and yet Inoue has accomplished more in less time. That's just irrefutable. And that division's laden with legitimate boxers. Legitimate talents. Not just respected. No, good. Outright good. Again, most of y'all, myself included, didn't know Tapales. And look at what happened. Tapales showed, this brother belonged in the ring with Inoue. It just, Inoue was it's just that great. The fact that we're saying somebody was able to adapt and give Inoue and made him think, that's a testament to Tapales' skill. But a more, even bigger testament to the fact that if somebody gives Inoue any level of resistance, brother, we give them regards. We give them respect because that's uncommon. He's got that type of aura to him, that type of legacy to him right now, and he's only done it in 26 fights. We have to hold people accountable when it comes to the world of boxing. We have to hold people accountable when it comes to how we grade their legacy properly. And we have to hold people accountable when it comes to their ability to actually reach all-time great level status. Because it can't be that it is what it is. Oh, they're great. Hence, put them as the best in the world. No. Gervonta Tank Davis, 29-0, still has accomplished less than what we've seen Inoue do. It's insane. For anybody, not just Tank, anybody, you've got to, if you want to be seen as of that same caliber, you've got to put in the work. Inoue put in the work quickly. Quickly, he put in the work. Beat the best that you said couldn't be beaten. Overcame every obstacle with ease. Every pundit that said that somebody was going to be too much for him, again, Stephen Fulton, put him in the dirt with ease. Everybody that people said would give Inoue a tough time did it with ease. And everybody that they said would give him a tough time were people that were seen as, okay, this brother this is for real. This is for real. It's plain and simple. Naoya Inoue is the best boxer in the world. There is no dispute. There is no differentiation. There's no debate as of right now. Next year, again, the list can change, absolutely. But as of right now, with what he accomplished in the immediate, coupled with the performance, coupled with the track record, coupled with the talent and his ability, he's the best in the world. He is the best in the world. And there is nobody else except for the monster, Naoya Inoue, king of the monsters. To quote Godzilla, king of the monsters. That's what he is. Of every major monster in the boxing world today, he is the king of all of them. And he's the smallest out of all of them. He is the king of monsters in boxing. The head honcho, pound for pound, number one. The biggest threat to everybody. The most dominant force in boxing today is Naoya Inoue. It's just plain and simple. You don't have to like it. And hey, if you say it's not, some people say that pound for pound lists are, what's the word? Subjective. And they are. They absolutely are. They are. They are subjective. Everybody can have their own. But there is a consensus of who should be seen in that same caliber, who should be even in the conversation. That is irrefutable. There's a consensus of who should be in that category. You can't fake that. You can subject who where they are. You can't subject who's in there, because that's just outright production. That's what they show in the ring, and what they accomplish puts them in that category. So since that's the case, that is not subjective. But where you put them can absolutely be subjective. But for me, it's not subjective for me. It is concrete for me. Not for you. It's fine. You have your own list. It's absolutely great. But for me, pound for pound, Naoya Inoue is the definitive #1 best boxer in the world. And there's no debate you can put for me that can put him at, that can lower him. You just can't. You just can't. After this accomplishment, coupled with everything else that he has at his disposal, there's no way you can put him not at #1 in my eyes. For me, he is the best boxer in the world. And there's no other. There's no other. It's him, Crawford, everybody else. Crawford 2, or Naoya 1, Crawford 2, everybody else. There's a gap in everybody else. It's just the truth. For me, it's the truth for me. Put in the comments how you feel. Absolutely, I would love to hear. Love to bench. Love to go back and forth with you. Absolutely. But for me, it's got to be Naoya Inoue.